everybody right, then worry about results.
Courtney Banghart for North. That challenged South Carolina the most a year ago.
Yeah, they were the only team that lost by less than 10 points, and a loss is still a loss. But it gives you something to build off of in the offseason, and now coming into this year, it's her first time as a head coach where she has expectations on her team going into the season.
Alyssa Ustby, who had record-breaking stats in less than 20 minutes to start the season. Destiny Adams making her first start in her career, the sophomore, improving day by day. Eva Hodgson misses the three. Anya Poole with the rebound, 2-0 North Carolina.
First possession, you already see what North Carolina is all about. They've got the size down low to get the offensive rebounds. Second chance points are huge for them.
North Carolina. We'll get to the keys in a little bit, but one of the things that Courtney Banghart really working on yesterday was that high screen defense on the pick and roll.
Something that, especially with Destiny Adams, who's getting her first start, a young player, you want to get the work in on those kind of defensive rotations. You're going to face teams where you have to play that way. Get it in now instead of trying to worry about it when you have that opponent in front of you.
If Sampson has its block, Kennedy Todd Williams, her first shot not there. Kennedy Todd Williams comes in shooting 50%. South Carolina State starting five. As you can see, Lumpkin, Reese, Sonia, Gwynn, and Sampson, your starters. There's Destiny Adams. This is why she's getting more time. Her defensive work, ability to go coast to coast, up and in.
I love the defense there to be able to spread the floor as a big and come out and get the steal out beyond the three-point arc. But then to take that ball all the way coast to coast and make a nice little move to get the basket. She came in as a really highly touted recruit. Didn't see a lot of playing time last year, but they are big on her as a sophomore.
30 points, 19 rebounds her senior year in high school, where she's the school's all-time leading scorer at Manchester Township because of plays just like this for Adams.
And this is a steal that you expect from a guard, but here she is out at the top of the key, getting a hand in the passing lane, and then being able to go with both hands up the court around the defender. Not something that many bigs in the country can do.
No Deja Kelly out to an overabundance of caution in regards to lingering soreness from an injury, and another bucket for North Carolina. This is a good game for Deja Kelly to get healthy.
It is. It's a game where if it's a postseason or conference game, she's probably playing, Dean. But just taking that caution early in the year on one of your key players, no need to push her and get an injury where she actually is hurt and out for a significant period of time.
We look at Deja Kelly, one of the best players not only in the ACC but in the country. And you see her sitting next to Tiani Key, who is expected to get a role. She wants to steal your job, by the way.
She needs to play in college another year and then the WNBA for a while. She doesn't need to come take my job.
Lumpkin is sophomore. It's a young team for Coach Eatman, and he knows this is a daunting task, and he even admitted that for them, they want to break this into basically 8 segments, and if they can win 1 or 2 of those 8 segments, they'll be happy. I'll have you explain that even deeper, Kyle.
I thought it was a great mindset from a young team, a new head coach. Each quarter is 10 minutes long. After the 5-minute mark, you have that TV timeout for the media. They're looking at each 5-minute segment, and they're going to reset the score in their own mind. He said, we're not looking at the scoreboard. Every time we come out of a timeout at 0-0, if they can win 2 or 3 of those is what he's talking about. That's what they'll look for. That's something they can build on. Got to make these free throws. It's going to be a struggle for them to score. When they've got an opportunity at the free throw line, they've got to take advantage of it. You see the keys here, breaking it into segments we talked about. If they want to shock the world, as we put it, they really have to take care of the ball. You can't turn it over, and they're averaging almost 30 turnovers a game so far this season. And then you see there, hold UNC to the city speed limit. He said, we want to go 35, maybe 45. We're not trying to get out there on the highway and run at 60, 70 like Carolina does.
KTW now 1 for 2, came into the game shooting 50%. And it's 8-1 North Carolina.
Immediately picking up the full court.
Lumpkin with Hodgson, who has one foul. Driving to the basket is Gwynn. Gwynn then pulls back off the back of the rim and pulled down by Poole. Poole has been a regular in the starting lineup last year and again this year. They lost Littlefield, but in steps Hodgson, who leads the team in minutes. And there's Ustby, who was on a minutes restriction the first 2 games. I think she's off that now.
The pass from Williams is what made that basket happen. Good positioning from Ustby down low, but quick passing will always beat his own.
Look at Destiny Adams guarding one of the smaller players out there. She's so versatile. Last year, Kyle, we saw her work mostly with the post players. This year, she works primarily only with the guards and wings.
This summer, she played with 3-on-3 USA basketball team, and it really upped her game. You have to be able to play on both sides of the floor.
Henry Todd Williams has worked on her 3. And what an element. KTW, the complete package.
And when I say both sides of the floor, I mean defensively, but also helping to facilitate beyond just scoring like she just did there. Great outlook pass to find her up court.
So before practice, I complimented KTW on her 3 and her improvement. She said how hard she worked on it as they try to find her. And we were with our producer, Tanner Phipps, and I swear she did not make a single 3 yesterday in practice. Her first 3 today, she makes it.
Sometimes people are just gamers. You had mentioned that Courtney Banghart really wanted to key in on defense and picks. You see Ustby there coming around, playing tight to her defender. You do that, and it makes it really hard for a team to get that pass off at the top of the screen.
Ustby. Oh, yes. Shooter's touch right there for number 31. North Carolina shooting 70% to start. Meanwhile, the Bulldogs 0 for 3.
Carolina's going to have a size advantage at every single position on the floor. So getting their shot off, I don't think is going to be much of an issue, Dean. That's why Courtney talked about wanting to focus on defense and defensive schemes so much in this game.
You see the switching has been outstanding, and a pickup here from Adams. Adams has gone coast to coast once already, make it twice. Easy peasy for Destiny Adams.
This Carolina team brings everybody but one player, Dean, but really they're adding 5 or 6 because they've got depth on that bench that they didn't a year ago.
Phenomenal start, 8 for 11, including 3 for 3 for Adams, 17-1 Tar Heels. At Stillman College, so when South Carolina State, an HBCU school, needed a coach, he felt right at home.
He said growing up in his household, going to an HBCU is what you looked at, what you wanted to do, and mom and dad and then himself going, as soon as they called, he said that was where I was heading. And you know, talking to him, we always like to ask coaches, what is it about your school that you want everybody to know? And he said, listen, the education here at South Carolina State, it's fantastic. The environment that you get there, you've got one of the older ones in the country, founded back in the 19th century. Just a great place that you could tell how much he really loved being there in his first year and is excited to grow the program.
Yeah, he knew all this data that we have on there, including that it was founded in 1896. A whole lot of pride. He knew that it was going to be nearly impossible to win this game, but wanted to have the opportunity for his players to take on North Carolina as well. By the way, they're taking a look at Kennedy Todd Williams' 3, just to confirm it was 3. We'll check it here, Kyle.
Looks like they took a point off, so going to be a 2-point shot. Let's watch the toe.
On the line.
Just on the line, I guess. They got better angles than we do. Took a nice look at that one. So 16-1 instead of 17.
KTW now with 4 points. Adams leads all players with 6. And her first start as a Tar Heel. Then Deja Kelly, out of precaution, just sitting this one out. A little bit of an ankle. She was out there early doors here this morning, ready to go. And ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you, please, to Tiani Key from Cary High School, a superstar, McDonald's All-American.
I mean, one of the top recruits coming into the season last year. They were really, really high on her. got hurt in that quote-unquote secret scrimmage that every team holds playing against South Carolina State, suffered a knee injury. This is the first time she's on the court for Carolina, but she's one of the players that I had kind of alluded to, the depth that Courtney Banghart was going to have this season. She's one of those players that, especially when you get into the postseason, is going to be huge for Carolina.
9th in the nation coming out of high school at Cary. Also is a legitimate high jumper. She's got a sister that plays for Tennessee.
And from what I'm told, in that scrimmage against South Carolina last year before the regular season, they didn't have an answer for her offensively before she got hurt. If that's the case, you've got a dynamic weapon to go on to an already loaded team.
Ustby makes the last one. If there's one stat that Courtney Banghart would like to see improvement after 2 games, it is the free throw shooting, as they come in under 55% in the first 2 games.
And to me, that's a focus issue right there, is when you get on the free throw line, control the breathing, take some deep breaths, and get into your routine.
Great defense on the ball from Hobson. Now KTW forcing a trap in the pool. Boy, KTW, if you remember, she tore ACL her junior year. In her first game back after sitting out over a year, she had a triple-double at Jacksonville High School. This one is a 3, in and out. Rebound for Key, and Key scores for North Carolina.
Kennedy Todd Williams, one of her first games as a freshman for North Carolina, came up 1 rebound, I think it was, short of a triple-double.
Which I don't think they've ever had at North Carolina.
Never had one in program history. Shocked me when I had seen that, especially knowing you got players like Ivory Latta who have come through the program.
Open 3, too long, and good rebound. Key has scored. Now KTW will push it. Boy, watch Key glide down the court as well, and she'll get it. Key sets up, good pass out to Ustby, sets her feet, yes!
She's not going to knock down a lot of threes, but she's got the ability to do so. Player that you're absolutely comfortable with taking that shot.
It's her first made 3 of the season for Ustby. That one will hit the side of the backboard. It's 23-1. And look at this, Key can bring it up as well. Key, wearing number 13. I told her yesterday that's my favorite number. KTW misses the 3. There's Key with the rebound. In and out. Poole with the rebound. Poole sets her feet. Looked like she was fouled. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Tar Heels just dominating the backboard, which is exactly what you would expect in this kind of a matchup.
Poole in 2 games, averaging 8 points a game and 5.5 rebounds per game. One of 4 returning starters, only Carly Littlefield, and really she should have received another year when you consider the Ivy League shut down an entire season.
Yeah, I agree with you. If you're going to give it to everybody around the country for that COVID season, because the Ivy League chose to not play the year after where everybody came back, that wasn't the player's fault. She should have gotten another year, but ultimately the NCAA doesn't give it to them. So what do you do as a team? Go out and find a really top-ranked freshman to fill in Paulina Paris.
Paulina Paris is into the game. Kind of a hybrid full-court pickup there from North Carolina. This Paris sliding over. New York tough is the way Courtney Banghart described number 2. Lady Todd Williams. Eva Hodgson sets her feet, and nothing but the bottom of the net.
She's going to hit a lot of those. You don't want to leave her even a fraction of an inch to let go of a 3.
Eva with the guns out told me she loves the weight room, like every day, loves it. I never loved it, but she loves it.
Yeah, it's something a lot of people, I think most people probably have to battle with to get into the weight room on a daily basis. If you have a gym rat who likes being in there, that's just a benefit to them.
Hobson, KTW, driving to the basket, tough shot, rebound, Poole up and in, and it's 30-1.
Even though Kennedy Todd Williams didn't finish on that, the quick decision to drive baseline, able to get to the basket.
So Reese is out there, not even listed on the roster. She finally was cleared to play. So Reese wearing number 2. Eligibility issues to start the season, and Coach Eatman really thinks the upside on number 2 is huge.
But they just got the okay for her to play in the last 24 hours, and being that she's their starting point guard, that's a big player to have missing from the beginning of the season, not able to acclimate with a new team and a new system.
Key, Hodgson, Paris, Poole, KTW on the court for North Carolina. 12 from 19 from the floor, 2 for 5 from 3. Key, that left hand, a little bit off right there. The whistle and a foul called against North Carolina.
Going to get Poole over the back. Good job of boxing out. And when you're undersized, that's what you have to do. You've got to have good positioning so that if the offensive player is going to try and get the rebound, they've got to go over top of you to do so.
35 seconds remaining in the game. A dominant performance from North Carolina in front of the local school kids here in the Chapel Hill, Carrboro area. And a rebound for Paris. Paris will push it. Hodgson fakes it, drives to the basket to Key. Key with 4 points. The first 4 points of her career. What a wonderful sight to see number 13 out there.
You know, she's got to be the happiest of everybody. Long road back to finally see your first collegiate game coming in your second season on campus.
32-1 for North Carolina, shooting an amazing 62%, including 40% from 3. And the big recruit, Miss Key out of Cary High School, her first 2 buckets of her career. Big lead, North Carolina.
In the country.
I get chills as I hear you say it, and I also heard Colby say it as well. Second quarter here, 32-1. North Carolina 13 for 21. North Carolina, no turnovers. They caused 7 turnovers in that first quarter. That's pretty efficient.
It is, and for Coach Eatman, he said, I cringed a little bit when talking with the team about this one and what we needed to do, because he wrote on the board, had 20 turnovers. He said, I never thought I would say that would be a good thing, but against a team like Carolina in a season where so far they're averaging over 20 a game, that would be a win for him.
Paris, rebound Kennedy Todd Williams, puts it back up. She's fouled, and she'll go to the line. As Malou Chitenge comes into the game, along with Zelaya. Alexandra Zelaya, who really, at the end of the season, was coming on strong for North Carolina.
It's another one of those players that's now into her junior season, and you know, everybody comes along at their own pace, but you started to see things start to click for her towards the end of last year and get some more minutes, and she'll be another player that at any point in the season they can rely on. It really is so different for Courtney this year compared to last year when looking at her bench, where it was Hodgson and then who, where now everybody that dresses could potentially see significant minutes in a game.
Yeah, I really like the fact that they don't have like 17 players sitting over there, but every player can play, and it also allows a player like Deja Kelly in a game like this to get some rest, get that ankle right. Captain Obvious, your ankles are so important in this game, Kyle.
Absolutely, especially for a guard. But the other thing that the depth does, having all of those good players, creates competition, and it makes your team better in practice.
Paris, little move, gives it back to Ustby, who's got 4 rebounds already. Zelaya, good pass down low to Malou. Malou a little bit too strong. Look at Ustby, gets the rebound, tough angle. Tries to throw it back up Moses Malone style. And she had 5 players around her and will lose it.
Great balance to be able to come down with that rebound in a sea of maroon jerseys, get up another shot at least, couldn't get it to go. Eventually just too many Bulldogs took it away from her.
You mentioned the strength of Hodgson. When I ran that by Courtney Banghart, she said absolutely, but let me tell you, if you ever ran into Ustby in a practice, you would know it. She is solid.
I think that's the last thing that comes along for collegiate players, is that physicality, being able to go around and impose your will physically on another player.
Still sitting at 1 point for the Bulldogs. They'll take that 3 from deep there from Gwynn, the sophomore from Weatherfield, Connecticut.
Not exactly how Coach Eatman wants to see them score the ball on an ISO deep 3, but it's the first bucket they've made.
Paris misses her first 2 shots. And let's see if the Bulldogs can cut into that 30-point lead as Hodgson looking to check back in for Courtney Banghart at the next opportunity.
Trying to run some screens down low to get a player open.
Ustby with the
busy
steal.
hands. Courtney Banghart's going to be real happy with the way that this team's played defense in the first half.
So Ustby's got 7 now from North Carolina.
If you're able to step in the passing lane on anything that's beyond the three-point line and take that away, it's like a pick six in NFL. There's nobody on the back end that's going to get in your way.
36-4. 4 steals for North Carolina, still without a turnover. And they've got 7 assists. Great hands there from Paris. Kennedy Todd Williams needs to keep her head up here, see who's open. Decides to take it herself and misses. Malou Tenge with the rebound. Zelaya underneath the basket, right underneath, needs to make that one. And Kennedy Todd Williams will get it back. Ustby sets her feet for 3. In and out, rebound Kennedy Todd Williams, and she'll go back to the line.
Bulldogs need to do a better job, Dean, of spatial awareness. Know where you are on those rebounds, know where Carolina is, and get a body in front. Too many easy, weak side rebounds on that one. Kennedy Todd Williams just came flying in. Nobody there to box her out at all.
Kennedy Todd Williams with 20 against Jackson State, her career high. It felt like so many times last year we thought she was going to get 20, but just underneath with 19. But to get that 2-0, I think she's going to have a lot of 20-point games.
Yeah, it was her first of her career, but the first of many this season.
This is the second free throw, so stuck on 7 points. Kennedy Todd Williams out there with Ustby, Zelaya, Tenge, and Paris. Long 3, rebound Kennedy Todd Williams. Kennedy Todd Williams will drop it back. Harris sets her feet again, missed her first 2, now her first 3. Rebound Malou, and off the rim there. They've had some bunnies that they've missed, North Carolina, and I say that, and they're leading 37-4.
Well, she missed that one because she went up with her right hand. Go up with your left, and you don't hit the underside of the rim.
Quinn attacking the basket, looking for a whistle, and earning it there is Gift Sampson, the junior by way of Nigeria. She has played at a couple schools before arriving at South Carolina State. Started the junior college route, then went to USC Upstate, and now finds herself as a member of the Bulldogs by way of Lagos, Nigeria.
Talked about in the beginning how Coach Eatman said we're going to break this game into 8 segments, 5-minute segments. Want to win a couple of those and they'll feel good about things. The first 2 didn't go very well, 16-1, and then there's 32-1 after the end of the first quarter. But since then, it's 5-3 in favor of Carolina. So much better defensive effort here from the Bulldogs.
And the second quarter has been a quarter that they've really struggled in, so that's a good sign. Great job, Kyle Straub, pointing that out, as that's exactly what Coach Eatman said. Little wins within the game, a game that he admitted would be near impossible to win. An air ball that time from the far side. Bulldogs will move it up the court. 1 for 14 from the field to start.
You can see they're trying to get the ball down low. Sampson was showing down on the block near side, but good job by Adams on a guard being able to deny it. And here she is on a switch again.
Yeah, Adams can guard anybody on the court. And a rebound there for Paris, who really looks good defensively as well. Still looking for her first bucket. Little runner. Now Hodgson finds the lane. Good drop to Adams, and Adams will go to the line to shoot 2.
2 drives right there, Dean. 1 from a freshman, 1 from a senior leader. I thought Paulina was a little bit indecisive when she was going to the basket. Do I want to shoot it? Do I want to pass it? And came up short on the shot. On the other side, Hodgson got it and immediately attacked the basket, drew the defense to her, and dropped it off to Adams.
Adams misses the first.
It's the kind of thing where after the game, the coaches will sit down with the players, you'll look at the tape, and they'll show that to Paulina. So go with the anticipation of having the decision made already. It'll make that play so much better.
Adams misses both. In the practice yesterday, they did the drill where you got to make a free throw or you run, and they went 8 deep before somebody finally made that free throw, so they ran a lot.
Coaches have no problem running you if you can't do the simple things like make a free throw. And if you're doing everything else well, it really is going to be an emphasis because you don't want to lose a game because you couldn't make free throws.
Deep three, air ball, rebound, Zelaya. Here's Hodgson, has Adams on her left, gives it to Adams. Adams will attack the rim, looking to find Chitenge, and I think Adams is going to get called for the foul. 14 for 34 from the floor, 5 steals, all North Carolina, 37-5. North Carolina 37, SC State 5. Of course, Kennedy tied to Williams, 7 points already, 5 rebounds. She's also got 2 assists.
You see those numbers from her freshman year to her sophomore. Didn't start a lot, did play a good amount that freshman year. Big jump, but an even bigger jump now into her junior season. And the one stat that's not on there, we talked about in the Open, Dean, 34% three-point shooter. She only made about 25, 30 in her first 2 years. She's already made 7 this year, shooting about 45% from beyond the arc.
She's back out on the court, along with Paris Key. And the Poole back into the game, as is Hodgson. They were the 5 players wearing the white uniforms for North Carolina. The Bulldogs in the maroon, trailing 37-5 with 4:30 remaining here in the second. An 11 a.m. special featuring all of the local schools around the area, and they're making some noise in here. That's another shot clock violation. The defense for North Carolina on point.
They were really trying to get the ball to Saunier down low, and Key just did a fantastic job on denial. Had a hand in the passing lane the whole time.
37-5 North Carolina. We'll be back with more here in Chapel Hill.
It took a while to get up here. We started out around 1959. Then we took a hard left in East Africa. A right at Baja. A 180 in the empty quarter. And that 65-degree incline at Hell's Revenge. But we didn't do all that just to get here. We did it to give you a truck that'll take you anywhere. This is the new Nissan.
Here we go. You see the kids here back at Carmichael Arena. Hodgson behind the three-point line, in and out. Rebound Key, and Key with her offhand. Key now 3 for 4 in her first game as a member of the Tar Heels.
Carolina's got 16 offensive rebounds. 8 total for South Carolina State in the game.
Coach Eatman said he wanted to avoid second chance opportunities. He has not been able to avoid second chance opportunities.
Now 13 of the points that Carolina has come off of those offensive rebounds, second chance points.
Give Sampson shot clock expiring. Kennedy, Todd Williams, Hodgson. Good save there. Paris trying to get her first points as Paris starts 0 for 5 here in this one. Poole tries to slide her feet. Good help defense from KTW. Extra pass, Kennedy, Todd Williams. KTW 2 for 8 from the floor. Harris, and she is a tremendous defensive player wearing that number 2 jersey from North Carolina.
Just has that, it's tough to coach, but knowledge of where I need to let my player go, help out off the ball, and you see her down there again, waiting for that baseline drive, anticipating what the offense is going to do.
Foul called against Tiani. He's 6'4", redshirt freshman.
Got her on her tippy toes, and because of that good job there as well by Saunier, getting into the body of Key. You close that gap, you're going to get the call from the referee.
Key was a pretty good high jumper in high school as well. As you see Coach Eatman looking on. Owen Monnier and Erica Stokes, his assistant coaches. Monnier was an interim head coach a little bit last year. There's KTW. Good rebound from Key. Extra pass to Poole. Great pass from Key. That's her second assist of the game, and Poole now on 10.
One of the other things I think Courtney Banghart's going to look at and be happy when she sees the stat sheet, 8 assists on 16 made field goals for Carolina.
Todd Williams got the steal, attacked the basket. Having a rough day from the floor, but very busy as a 3 from deep hit there by Nicole Gwynn. It's only the second field goal. Key will go to the line to shoot 2.
Both of them have come from Gwynn, and both are 3-pointers. Talked about the freshman in the Open. Leads the team in scoring, all MEAC last year, but as a sophomore, new system that you kind of have to learn. She's got the offensive ability. It's just figuring out where you fit in the offense to where the coach wants, which is team ball.
So here's Key with that left hand, makes them both. And Key having herself quite the game as she's got 10 points already.
Carolina 9 for 12 from the charity stripe.
43-10. Put over 90 seconds remaining here in the first half. Only 2 turnovers on the day for North Carolina. They've caused 10.
Kickball violation. Into the game for the Bulldogs.
Nia Hinton, a sophomore from Mississippi, will come into the game for Coach Eatman. Also coming into the game is Asia Smith, a sophomore from Marietta, Georgia. Boy, Key just makes this team so much longer and leaner as well. 6'4" with a wingspan that makes her feel like a 7-footer out there.
She's a lot like Adams because she's got the athletic ability to play different spots, can go out and guard a guard on the perimeter or down low with a forward. Just, I mean, when you get switched and you're a guard and you're looking at that wingspan, normally you're like, all right, I'm going around this big. It's not the case with her. Nice little up and under move to draw the foul and get the bucket. Coach Eatman wanted to win 2 or 3 of the 8 segments that he broke the game down into. 5-4 was the first half of this second quarter in favor of Carolina. Right now, South Carolina outscoring the Tar Heels, not anymore.
Hodgson, she's made 2 out of 4 from 3. She's got 6 points, and it's 46-12.
Got to pick up the 3-point shooter in transition. That's just a mental lapse. Got to know where that player is. Who's on that player? Or if you're playing a zone, got to get back to your position.
Key leads all players with 10 points in her first ever game. And there's Key with a block. Get it out of here. Key will drop it to Hodgson, who'll pick it up for the layup. Key! Wow, what an opening game for number 1-3.
Easily could have taken that herself, but unselfish to throw it ahead to Hodgson, who was waiting under the basket. I don't think she even had to jump on that block.
That was nasty. 48-12. Welcome, Miss Key. And a deep 3. Well done there by Gwynn.
That's her 3rd of the game, 2nd this quarter.
10 seconds remaining. Hodgson. Kennedy Todd Williams, extra pass. Hodgson sets her feet in front of the rim. And the rebound to the Bulldogs, 48-15 at the half.
The Bulldogs scored 14 here in the second quarter. Got to be encouraged by the better play that they had both offensively and defensively. But how about Key in her first action for the Tar Heels?
Tiani Key overcoming a knee injury, missed all of last year, making her first appearance, leads the team with 10 points. Waters, the coaching staff. Little known fact, Joanna Luca White and Atora Coleman played high school basketball together. How cool is that they're now part of this staff? They've known each other that long.
That's one of those where I bet on a fairly regular basis there is some type of comment between them of, could you have ever imagined it back in high school that this is where we would be? But you just never know where you're going to end up in life.
Ustby had not made a three in her first two games. Had only shot two, but she's got a couple here in this one.
2 for 3 from deep, and the one that didn't go down was about halfway down before it kicked back out. Little zone here from Carolina.
Zone from the starters, Ustby, Todd Williams, Hodgson, Adams, and Poole. Poole's got 10, Ustby 12. Here's Adams again on the steal. And she traveled, took an extra step right there.
Tried to get the Euro step. It was a carbon copy of the first half where we saw her in the highlights get in the passing lane, get the steal, and try to go coast to coast.
Maybe we'll see different looks like this. And you see the press and a jump ball.
I think with the way Carolina and man defense played so dominating in the first half, Courtney is changing things up, wants to give different looks, see how players respond in different defenses.
Alternating jump balls as KTW with the tie-up. KTW is 6 feet tall. You stand next to her, she even seems a little bit taller. She also, like Adams, like Key, very rangy player. Of course, as you know, Courtney Banghart calls her a Scottie Pippen. There's Adams with the block from behind, and Adams will push it. Adams trying to find Ustby, forced it a little bit, and they'll say off of Ustby.
I'm sticking with my Theo Pinson comparison. I made that freshman year. He had just graduated and moved on, and she just got onto campus. But very similar style player.
I like that comparison. I told you then, and I'll back you again, Kyle. I'll back you all day, every day, even on an early Wednesday morning into the afternoon. There's a shot for the Bulldogs. They needed that, up and in. Wynn's had a good game here. She's in double digits with 11. Extra pass, KTW trying to hit that three, rolls in and out. She's 2 for 11 from the floor.
Adams has got to keep that ball high. I didn't mean to cut you off there, but you immediately see her grab it and bring it down. That's why the guard is able to get in there and knock it free. You get the foul and you go to the free throw line, but if you keep that high and go right back up with it, it's an easy bucket.
Adams goes to the line, 0 for 3 on the season, now 0 for 4. That starts to get in your head a little bit.
It can, especially a young player.
She needs to make this one here, and I think she will. She does.
Into the game for the Bulldogs, number 42, age 7.
What a weapon to have, that size and range of KTW on the front end of a full court press. And you can see right there, it already took 15 seconds off the shot clock, so really effective.
And you can see in the future if Carolina in a tournament game needs to go to that because they need to force a turnover or a team is down a point guard. Having the length of Kennedy, Todd Williams, Key, Adams, Ustby, that's going to make it really difficult for an offense to get through a zone like that.
Fourth rebound of the game for Adams. And a forced pass from Hodgson.
It was a good look from her, but do you see Poole pointing up? Throw that ball up over top so the defender can't get in the lane.
Yeah, the size advantage for North Carolina is off the charts ridiculous, especially when Key and Zelaya get in there. Somebody's got to get open. Ustby is open from 3. Rebound Poole. And on the Poole, they'll say jump ball. They'll say with North Carolina.
Lovely Sonier came in from behind. I think it was a good call. Got all ball on that. Maybe a little contact on the front side with Anya. But a clean block, though.
Lovely Sanye. What a great first name, Lovely. There's KTW. Hodgson. To go with her 10 points. And just a couple boards away from the double-double, she'll go to the line.
Second quarter, Dean, I thought South Carolina State did a better job of getting in those rebounding lanes, blocking out Carolina, limiting the second chance points. Not the case here in the third, though. It seems like a renewed effort by Carolina to hit the offensive glass. Carolina's actually got more offensive rebounds than defensive in this game. There's another.
Ustby Ustby sitting on 14 now. And Poole, 4 for 4 from the field, 3 for 4 from the line. She's got 11. Hodgson with 8, Adams and Todd Williams with 7 each. Good hustle from Ustby.
How about the line from Alyssa Ustby? 14 minutes, 14 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal.
Remember, she was on that minutes restriction to start the season and had a performance that's never even been seen in the WNBA.
The NBA, the WNBA, either Division I for men or women earlier this year was under 20 minutes. And just the efficiency that she has is crazy. 15 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals. Only player in the last 15 years to do that at any level from D1 up.
Adams will let it roll out of bounds on the air ball. Forward shot there from Hinton. Gwynn has 11 of the 17 points for the Bulldogs. KTW now sets her feet. Update shooting 2 for 12, but another rebound for Ustby. That's 8 rebounds to go with 14 points.
Oh, what a
pass, yeah. Boy, they faked KTW, and then because of that, drew a player out and then dropped the pass down.
And Hodgson looking across to Ustby over in the corner, who's already knocked down a couple of threes, but hitting the open player Adams. Just a beautiful play.
Hodgson has 3 helpers to go with her 8 points.
Good communication here by Carolina. You're going to play zone, you got to be able to talk so everybody knows where they're supposed to be.
Back-to-back air balls from the Bulldogs.
Take a look at this assist from Hodgson. The vision from her as Ustby gets it. You have Kennedy Todd Williams at the top that's open. She's looking there. She's looking at Ustby. It goes down low. Defense, the eyes will draw them away.
Great pass. Those 2 points give Adams 9. Ustby's open, needs to make that shot, and airballs it.
Carolina up to 12 assists now and 21 made baskets.
12 assists against just 4 turnovers as well. They have 8 steals and 2 blocks. The lead is 40. Going back to my point as well about how long North Carolina is, Adams is part of that length as well. You see it right there, number 20.
Yeah, she absolutely is. Not every player is going to have that extended wingspan, but you look at Adams just as how she measures, 6'3". That's the second tallest on the team.
Every single possession, the shot clock seems to be down to 5 seconds, and that's another, I think that's 3 times they have shot clock violations. Great defense from the Tar Heels.
Offensively, got to have a little bit more awareness of where that shot clock is. Teammates need to communicate a little bit too. That's also something, Dean, where because it's a new team and a new system, when you get deep into the shot clock like that, it's tough to know what exactly to do with the ball.
Adams adding a 3-pointer to her repertoire, and she's got 12.
I don't know that Coach Bangerhart's going to want to see her take too many of those throughout the season, but if you're going to take it, you might as well make it.
Kind of a line drive 3. There's Ustby, back of the rim. Adams had it for a moment. Really, the effort from Adams keeps the ball with North Carolina. They're sitting at 60 to 17. Ustby to the hoop and misses a bunny. She rarely misses that. 5 for 12 from the floor. Ustby leading the Tar Heels with 14 points and 8 rebounds. Hodgson leading the Tar Heels with 4 assists as Paris and Key will check in the next opportunity for Courtney Banghart. Ustby thought she had a steal.
A little bit of a mental lapse there from Gwynn.
Poole 1 rebound away from a double-double. Adams now with 14 points.
Bulldogs got to run the floor. There were 3 white jerseys that were just waiting for that outlet pass and the easy layup.
So a new career high for Adams, 14 points in her first start, 6 for 7 from the floor, 5 rebounds.
The only missed shot was a 3.
Anya Poole with the block. Kennedy Todd Williams trying to find her lane, and Kennedy Todd Williams now with 9.
This is looking a lot like the first quarter, Dean. North Carolina is just doing whatever they want, imposing their will on South Carolina State. Backcourt.
Destiny Adams had 10 against TCU, a new career high 14, and 64-17, North Carolina. Destiny Adams is working number 20 in her first start, having herself a ball game.
She's really done a little bit of everything. See her here out at the top of the offense, getting her hands in the passing lane, then running the floor for the bucket, showing at the free throw line, knocking down with soft touch, showing the ability to stretch out and hit the 3, and then being rewarded for getting out and running. 14 points in 14 minutes to go along with 5 rebounds.
I asked her point blank with our producer, Tanner Phipps, about her first start, and for her, it was no big deal. She's like, I'm just ready to do whatever the team needs. And it was matter of fact. I'll tell you what, this is a big deal. 6 for 7 with 4 steals. Nice first career start.
Going to get her more starts in the future. Not sure if this team is where she'll get it with Deja Kelly due to come back from the little nagging injury, but in the future, this is just a second-year player. And
Wow!
I said I don't think they want her to shoot the 3. Maybe I'm completely wrong.
Really comfortable. Adams with 17, blowing away her career high by 7, and doing it in her first start at 67-17.
If shooting a 3 like that is something she can do on a even semi-regular basis, it changes the dynamics of the way you can play out on the court, because you can have 2 bigs with her, but she doesn't have to play down low in the paint. She can spread out and give somebody like a Key or a Poole the space in the paint while she plays on the perimeter.
Zelaya, Paris, Hodgson, Key, and Adams now out there for Courtney Banghart, whose team is hitting 43% from the floor, 29% from 3, and 69% from the free throw line. Well, Adams makes that one, and good night.
And they currently actually looking at the 4 or 5 that are on the 4. She's playing the 3 right now for the Tar Heels. Zelaya at the 5, Key at the 4.
Ripped out of there by Paris. Has had a great defensive game. Still looking for her first point. Here's Key running the court. And Key now, we thought she had 10 in the first half, and she got credited for a bucket. She's got 10 now. Double digits in her first ever game.
That was a beautiful bounce pass from the freshman. On point, in stride.
The youngsters here from the local schools in the Chapel Hill, Carrboro, Orange County area, loud and proud here. They'll remember this, I think, forever, as that one goes off the backboard. What a special moment, particularly with the pep band here, to experience this college basketball scene.
Yeah, you know, anytime you get to come to a game, it's always fun, something that young kids will remember, but especially when you get out of school for it. We actually showed up, I saw all the kids filing in, and I thought to myself, well, how come I never had a field trip like that when I was in school?
I thought the same thing, my man. 19 points for Adams. 8 for 10 from the floor, 6 rebounds. And once again, working the shot clock and forcing tough shots. And Adams pushes it to Paris. Paris over to Zelaya. Zelaya extra pass to Adams. Adams up and in. She's got 21.
She started the break, and she's rewarded because she ran the court.
21 points for Adams. She's got one more than Kennedy Todd Williams' career high of 20.
Good defense, too.
Zelaya will push it to Paris. He was open. Paris is going to pull it back. And Key will go to the line.
I thought that was a good decision by Paris to pull it out. Too many bodies in the paint, too much congestion. The second she did, a defender peeled off with her, and it opened things up a little bit down there for Key.
Key makes that one. She's got 11. Adams with 21. Her senior year, she averaged 30 points, 19 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2.5 blocks per game at Manchester Township High School. And she's having that kind of game here in her first ever start for North Carolina. As another turnover. Zelaya really never set her feet. In and out. Adams, oh, missed it. As Adams was looking for 22 and 23 right at the end of the third quarter. Destiny Adams, 9 for 12 from the floor, 21 points, 74-17 North Carolina.
It took a while to get up here. We started out around 1959. Then we took a hard left in East Africa.
She has earned the time. Zelaya, Paris, Hodgson, Key, and Adams out for North Carolina. 74-17, your final quarter. This game started at 11 a.m. That's why all these young kids are here. What a great idea. And as we noted at halftime, a couple other ACC teams doing the same thing. Long distance three. Boy, they're using all the shot clock and not getting good looks, the Bulldogs.
Well, what's going on is they're just not getting anything at all until there's about 5 seconds left, and they're just forced to throw up a shot so they don't get their 4th shot clock violation.
Paris, that's her first 3 points of the game. And Paris, nothing but the bottom of the net, 77-17.
So many scorers on this team. They're not going to really ask her to put it in the bucket too much, but anything you get from the freshman is just an added bonus. Going to look to her to play some defense, give them somebody that can handle the ball, give the other guards a break.
Malou Chitenge heads over to the scorer's table to come in. North Carolina team so versatile. As earlier we saw Adams guarding the one. A moment ago we saw Key, and a forced shot and a brick did not hit the rim, so it'll be another shot clock violation.
Just not a lot of movement off the ball by South Carolina State. Not really getting anybody open, trying to create something using screens even. I haven't seen very much of here in this second half.
4 shot clock violations. I don't remember the last time I've seen that many. Here's Key with that left hand. Sweet touch, but missed it. Last time North Carolina faced this team, they had 5 shot clock violations.
Still 8.5 to go.
8.5 right now. Good call, Kyle.
See, right here, all the players stacking up for South Carolina State. I want to see 1 or 2 set a screen, get a player to break off, try and get somebody some separation.
Right, there was another example of that high screen D that was perfect. And here's another one as they close in and force an air ball. Courtney Banghart pointing out the importance of that high screen D and another air ball. Zelaya will push it for a moment. Now Hodgson.
If you can disrupt somebody's offense at that high screen spot, it just doesn't allow them to get into any type of a flow at all. That's why she put such a big emphasis on it.
79-17. We'll be back after this. Make no mistake, the schedule ahead for Courtney Banghart and the North Carolina Tar Heels is going to get tougher.
Minimum of 7 teams that are currently ranked on the schedule, possibly 8. All depends on how things go at that Phil Knight Invitational, whether they meet up with Iowa State or Michigan State. But yeah, they've got some games early where you can kind of get your feet under you, get going into the season, but then they're really going to test themselves here in the coming weeks.
You can hear the young kids making a whole lot of noise here at Carmichael, having a good time. 8 of the 9 players from North Carolina have scored. We'll see if Zelaya can get on the board for North Carolina. Right now it's the Bulldogs. That was one of the better looks for the Bulldogs. Even that one barely hit the iron. Paris Pass was behind Kennedy Todd Williams. He was thinking shot the entire time. Here's Key. He drops it to Zelaya, and Zelaya 0 for 3, the last player that needs to score for North Carolina. Good help defense. Outlet pass, long, over the outstretched arms of Key. Good pump fake. Key with another block. That's 2 blocks for Key. KTW trying to get it to Paris. Back to KTW. Great pass. Paris to Kennedy Todd Williams. And North Carolina's got 81 points. To 17, and another miss, another rebound. 5 for 39 from the floor. Here's Paris. Another great pass. Paris finds KTW again. There's the strength there. Oh, and she flexed for a moment.
Great hesitation, too. Let both the defenders get in the air before she went up.
KTW starting to heat up now. 5 of 15. She's got 13 points. Key out there with 11. Of course, Adams with 21.
How about that stat right there? 44-2 points in the paint in favor of Carolina. The way the Tar Heels have hit the backboards with the offensive rebounding, and then you add in a play like this, a broken play. Mishandles the pass, just saving it, but awareness that you've got a trailer and a no-look behind-the-back pass right on point. When things are going your way, Dino, they're going your way.
You know it. Reese. They have been waiting for her to get into the lineup, and Reese goes to the line and scores. She'll miss the second one. Rebound there for Chitenge. Chitenge out there with Key, Todd Williams, Paris, and Zelaya. Zelaya shows right at the elbow. Kenny Todd Williams kind of forced that shot. Didn't need to. So Ustby's going to come in for KTW. She'll sit down 5 of 16 from the floor.
Wouldn't be surprised if that's going to be it for her for the rest of the game. You've got the opportunity with 9 players that you're playing in a big lead like this of limiting minutes on those starters. Nobody going to play over 30 minutes except for possibly Hodgson if she gets back in.
Nice drive to the basket and the finish. Hinton, her first 2 points of the game on a good drive.
You think to a year ago, Dean, this is a Carolina team where without the depth that they have, those starters are playing 35-plus minutes every single game. They add up on you. You get to the NCAA tournament, the ACC tournament, you're going to have some tired legs because of all those minutes. Being able to save 5 or 10 early in the year will add up throughout a season.
Championship form already from Kyle Stroud. North Carolina 83, South Carolina State 20. He was called for the charge. Look at Key defensively as well. Hand in the face, rebound for Ustby. Ustby now 9 rebounds to go with 14 points. So drop it to Key. Key will set her feet, front of the rim, rebound Chitenge. And she traveled before she went up with it. Just shuffled her feet for a moment. 83-20, Destiny Adams with 21 in her first start. It's been all North Carolina. Sunshine in my pocket from Justin Timberlake right there. The kids absolutely loving it. And of course our camera crew soaking in all the shots. Want to thank our crew. There's Brian Ware. The kids call him B Money Ware, by the way, as you all know. And other camera operators are Hunter Caparelli, Ryan Gibbons, and Andrew Lewis. I want to thank the rest of our crew, Tanner Phipps, Thomas Smiler, Nick Forbes, as we got a whistle, Evan Badler, Logan Siege, Jessica Monroe, Ian Lang, Jasmine Baker, Jeff Anderson, Carson Withers, Byron Sanders, alongside Kyle Straub. I'm Dean Linke. I'm sure you follow B Money Ware.
Always.
83-20. 4:45 remaining here. It's so great to have these youngsters here. As I mentioned, I think they'll remember this forever.
They will, and I know one of the teachers that are actually here with Clubrow Elementary School, Shelby Dotson, and I told her, good luck after this, getting them to settle down if you have to go back to class and actually try and teach I hope the field day is an all-day event and you have something else planned after this game.
Harris sets her feet. Now 1 for 7 from the floor, and Key will go to the line. Key with 11 points, 4 for 8 from the floor, 3 for 4 from the line, 6 rebounds in her first ever game as a Tar Heel. So, Kyle, I feel like you got to try to find Zelaya to make sure all 9 players get on the board.
Right, you want to get everybody at least 1 bucket.
I love the stroke of Key. My oldest son was a left-hander, wore number 13, and there's something about a left-hander. Left-handers just make everything look prettier.
Sure. I think my daughter is going to be left-handed. So absolutely, Dean, I'm going to get on board with you on that one.
You're a baseball man, left-handed batter, right?
Listen, as a baseball guy, left-handers just have it easier. You don't have to be as good to be successful because there's just not as many of them.
South Carolina State held a 14% shooting, primarily because they've been getting shots off as the time is expiring, and I do not have the number of air balls, but it's a lot for the Bulldogs.
We know there's been 4 shot clock violations, but Carolina has gotten it down inside 5 seconds and forced an ill-advised shot at least a dozen other times.
See Timothy Eatman, a veteran coach. He'll be able to turn it around. He started at his alma mater, Talladega College, then went to Mississippi State as an assistant coach, Houston, Iowa, and Kansas. Got his first head coaching job at UIC. Then went back to Kansas, then the associate head coach at Arkansas, then BC, then Northeastern, then Rhode Island, and then worked under one of the legends of the game at Rutgers from 2015 to 22, and at one time was the acting coach when C. Vivian Stringer had to miss a few games, and he comes from the Scarlet Knights, and he is so pleased to be at this HBCU University, South Carolina State.
And he learned from one of the best under Vivian, and he told us this is a team that's a work in progress. First year, new system. Everybody is trying to get acclimated to everybody, and they don't even have their full team at their disposal. They just got a player back with eligibility issues at the NCAA cleared. They're hoping to get another player, a couple more that are nicked up. He said, we play these early games. We're trying to get a team together, put together a team so that come January, we're where we want to be, and everybody knows the playbook, and you have a different team out on the court, and you're looking at the results instead of the process.
So well said, Kyle. Ustby will go to the bench with a double-double in limited time.
Armando Baycott for the men's team last year tied the single-season record for double-doubles. I think Alyssa Ustby is going to give him a run for his money this year, though.
I agree. Ustby will lead with 14 points and 10 rebounds. A couple steals as well. Hodgson misses that. Rebound by Paris. Little leaner. Rebound again. Paris in traffic. Extra pass. Shot clock at 14. Tenge. Nice finish. She's got 4. So again, just need to find Zero Zelaya to get her on the board. Six for 43 from the floor for the Bulldogs. And there's Destiny Adams. Her hands are always busy. Look at Coach Eatman. Really enjoyed our conversation with him yesterday. Also there from Paris. Zelaya. Oh, that was her chance, and she turns it over. Whipped out of there by Hodgson.
Keep those heels off the end line. Really good defense, though.
Boy, great pass from Zelaya, but she forgot the basketball.
Just sometimes you get a little too far ahead of yourself. Got to have that ball secured in your hands first.
2 minutes remaining in this game. It started at 11 a.m. and from way downtown, having a big-time game is Gwynn with 14.
4 of 11 from beyond the arc. The only player that's hit a three-pointer in the game.
North Carolina shooting 43% from the field, 25% from three, 70% from the charity stripe. As I mentioned, 8 or 9 players have scored, and they have been locked down defensively. Every single player on the team has played great defense. 12 steals, led by 4 from Adams. Here's another steal. They'll push it out. Hodgson will drop it to Paris, and Paris will finish at the bucket. So Paris has 5.
Great job on the double team by Carolina defensively to force that turnover.
Ustby with another double-double. Poole, by the way, is just 1 rebound away from a double-double, as she had 9 rebounds and double-figure scoring, and Zelaya will get called for the foul right there.
Personal foul is called on Alexandra Zelaya, her third.
Starting to see some more action off the ball from South Carolina State. Some back screens to get some players free, and that's what you have here. Zelaya stepping out like she was setting the screen on defense, though, not on offense.
Such great improvement a year ago near the end of the season for the junior from Goodyear, Arizona, Millennium High School, 6'4", Alexandria Zelaya. Teammates love her. This team has really good chemistry. You can tell they're playing for each other each and every time out there. And then when you work in NIL, you got Deja Kelly taking care of her teammates as well. Obviously a high-profile player, one of the most high-profile players in the country, and making sure her teammates get some love. Here's Adams. Yes, Adams with 23. What a game.
Less than 1 minute remaining in the ball game.
91-25. November 20th, they'll be at James Madison, then they'll head out to the northwest, and there's Hodgson, and Hodgson has 10.
Put another highlight reel pass there from Paris.
Steal from Hodgson. Gotta find Zelaya. There's Zelaya. No. Rebound Adams. Adams goes back up with it. Adams with another rebound. As right down to the final seconds, Destiny Adams making good things happen for the Tar Heels. Can the Bulldogs finish out with a bucket? No, another air ball. It's just been that kind of day.
Listen, South Carolina State knew coming into this one that a win was going to be a very, very long shot. Coach Eatman told us we're breaking it into 8 segments. We want to win 2 or 3 of them. They didn't win any game, but that second quarter was even. North Carolina outscored them by just 1. So they've got something they can look at and say, this is what we're going to build off of. Tar Heels, you got offensively, you knew you were going to get what you wanted. I think they played a phenomenal game defensively, and that's what they'll look at and focus on afterwards.
Destiny Adams with 23. Tiani Key in her first game ever finishes with 13. Ustby has a double.